This is the newest Samsung's flagship smartphone, Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G, and of course I couldn't resist flying it on an FPV drone, and I'll show you more epic footage later in this review. For the record, today's video is sponsored by Samsung Slovenia. They've challenged me to extensively test its video and photo capabilities. The feature I was most curious about was the image stabilization. And that's the main reason why I risked flying it on an FPV drone, because it's arguably the most extreme scenario possible. Lots of micro vibrations are happening when flying, so I was positively surprised to see that I actually managed to get stable footage out of the smartphone. All the lenses and all resolutions have the basic optical image stabilization, and for extreme scenarios you'll want to turn on the super steady mode. Just to give you some perspective, here's an example of footage filmed with stabilization turned completely off. And here's the one with the super steady mode on, which is now available in 60 FPS as well, meaning you can also slow down your footage to make it even smoother. The only little bummer for me personally is that optical image stabilization is only available in 1080p resolution, because it basically crops into 4K footage and stabilizes it, but the video quality is still good enough if you ask me, and to prove it, here's another cinematic sequence that's a combination of 4K and 1080p videos, and as you will see, they blend together seamlessly. Okay, so let's test if the phone is also waterproof. So let's talk about image quality. As a visual content creator, I'm really excited about this device because, let's face it, a smartphone is the most convenient filmmaking tool out there. It's usually with you wherever you go. Hop, pull it out of your pocket, one tap, and you are ready to capture your content. And I gotta admit that Samsung really delivered with this one, because you have an excellent video and photo camera system, jam-packed with features, 5 different image sensors available, and it's capable of doing 8K 24 frames per second video, 4K 60 frames per second video, and 1080p at 240 frames per second slow motion, which is amazing. So let's see how it performs in real life. Here's a quick recap from my first ever paragliding tandem jump, documented entirely with Samsung S21 Ultra 5G smartphone. Ooh, I'm going up there. Aljaž is taking me for my first ever paragliding jump. Any last minute tips?
Okay, so first off we lean forward a little bit.
Okay.
And then the wing pops up above our head.
Above our head, great.
We just have to control it, and when it's all nice and good, I'll say run, and then we just start running.
And the wing will take us off. Woo!
Josh!
Thank you. It was a great experience.
Again.
Come on, let's go again! As you saw, you can easily use this smartphone to document your adventures. Also use a protective case that has this handle on it, which makes it easier to hold the phone while you're filming, and while paragliding I had it attached around my neck on a safety band. Another feature I really like is the director's view mode, which is perfect for vlogging. Basically, you can film your experience from the front and the back camera at the same time while seamlessly switching between different cameras. This really enhances your storytelling, because you're showing what's happening from different perspectives, and you hook the viewer in because he doesn't know what angle to expect, and you keep spicing up your story. As a professional filmmaker, I was also excited to hear that this phone is capable of shooting 10-bit videos, which basically means that you can do much better job with color grading in post-production, because your video records more color depth information. And you also have the option to shoot in Pro Video mode, which gives you much more creative freedom to adjust your settings to your liking, because you can adjust ISO, shutter speed, white balance and so on, and you also have a histogram tool available which helps you nail exposure. I like to use Pro Video mode when shooting in 8K because you can use Video Snap feature to pull out 33 megapixel stills from the 8K clips. Now if you're shooting in auto mode, your shutter speed might be too slow to pull out crispy stills. I mean, yes, filming in slower shutter speeds will give you a more natural look with more motion blur, but if you intend to pull out 33 megapixel stills when filming fast moving action, I suggest you record in Pro Video mode with higher shutter speed to eliminate motion blur. This means you literally capture every moment with great and crispy video and photo image quality. And this is a portrait video useful for situations where you have distractions in the background and you want to remove them. And for photography, you have 5 different image sensors available. You got the 108 megapixel made wide angle lens, 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, 10 megapixel telephoto with 3 times and 10 times optical zoom.
This is the wide angle lens, this is the normal view in 4K, this is the 3 times zoom, and this is the 10 times zoom lens.
The 5th hole on the back of the phone is for laser autofocus sensor, and I can confirm that the dual pixel autofocus works great. It focuses with precision exactly where I tap. The 2 telephoto lenses are also a lot of fun to use. Having the option to have a proper 3 times and 10 times optical zoom is very convenient, and for the 100 times zoom feature, I mean, it's fun to use if you want to spy what your neighbor is. But beyond 20 times zoom, I think it won't produce good enough image quality. So it's fun to use, but yeah, not really useful for editing. The image quality and detail in the 108 megapixel photos is insane. Dynamic range is good, you get detail both in shadow and sky, even in harsh conditions. It blows my mind that you can take such good photos with a smartphone. Even the 12 megapixel main camera creates very good looking photos with a decent amount of detail. In good lighting conditions there is almost no noise and colors have a pleasing natural look. And on the front you have a 40 megapixels selfie camera which has autofocus. It produces plenty of detail with very good looking skin tones, and in my opinion it really is the best selfie camera on the market right now in a smartphone. You also have the option to shoot in portrait mode, which detects your subject's face and separates it from the background. Skin tones again look really good, and overall I really am amazed by the image quality that this device produces. You can even take close-up macro shots which will really spark your creativity, and they're a lot of fun to do. Now let's talk about low light capabilities. If you shoot in regular mode you will get decent looking photos, but nothing special, quite a lot of noise. But once you switch to night mode, the improvement is very noticeable. Good amount of detail, saturated colors and almost no noise. The dynamic range is also on point, and that's why I like to use night mode during the day as well when I'm trying to preserve detail in the blown out highlights, for example. Overall, Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G really positively surprised me. The video and photo image quality is on point, and I will for sure keep using it to document my daily adventures. And let's end this review with another cinematic sequence. I filmed my friend Philip in another location, and this time we went exploring my favorite waterfall in Slovenia. The whole sequence was of course filmed with this guy. Enjoy it and let me know in the comments below what you think about Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G smartphone.